Hello and welcome to a new episode of the Yarnflakes Podcast. My name is Audrey and this is a knitty yarny podcast from the southwest of France. Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining me for this new episode. I hope you're all doing very well, that in the northern hemisphere like me you're enjoying the beginning of the summer, and in the south you are happy with the little cool down that's about to happen. But yes, I have started this podcast 3 times because I just can't seem to get my mind straight on the path. So that is one of those days, guys, and I am recording this just before I head off to Romania. I am going to see my boyfriend and spend time with him and his family for a couple of weeks. So yeah, this is gonna be a little short and sweet episode just before I head off for my holidays. I have a pattern release to announce, the things I am currently wearing, and 2 new projects to share with you, along with one of them will be a semi magazine review as well, I guess. So yes, I think I'm gonna get started. You can find timestamps to all the different sections of the podcast in the description down below, so if you want to skip anything, feel free to do so and jump ahead. I also put links to everything that I talk about, as well as my social media and patterns for sale on Ravelry. So yay! I will start with what I am wearing, which is actually my new design that I just published on Ravelry. This is the second design of June and the first of my the 2 summery tops I will be releasing for this season. And it's a design you've actually never seen because I whipped it up in like 2 days. Like, it was started, it was done, it was test knit, and all of this without me being able to share it with you on the podcast. But here it is. This is the Nausicaa sweater. Ta-da! And so it is a really beginner-friendly, simple, basic sweater / top. It's a top-down raglan. So you start in the round with a twisted rib. You do a row of little eyelets all around that is repeated here. You can see it a little bit better against my dark dress. You start the raglan. It's like a nice, comfy, simple raglan. And then you knit the body however long you want. As you can see, mine is really cropped because I love crop tops. But obviously you can make it a usual sweater length. You definitely need to check what length is best for you, because mine is only 10 centimeters from the underarm until the beginning of the rib. That is because of my height, of what kind of cropped sweater I like, where my waist is, how my breast is put, and all of this varies from individual to individual, so you can easily try it on, place it over, or just simply place it over a top or a sweater that you own, and check what length is good for you so you can adapt it. And yeah, then what I recommend is to place the stitches of the body on hold. Go and finish the sleeves, which are just a little rolled sleeves, which you can obviously make rib, whatever rib you like. You can make long sleeves if you want to make this a winter or a mid-season type of garment. And yeah, mine are rolled, which and it's a controlled roll because there's like a purl bump that stops the roll, so it just looks nice and stays put, which is what I like in a rolled sleeve. I like it to be, put. And then you can go back and finish your yarn with the ribbing, which is like this little twisted ribbing details. I hope you like that boob shot. Anyway, as you can see, I'm wearing it over a dress, which definitely needs ironing, but who bothers? Who irons their clothes? It's certainly not me. I also sometimes wear it over like a sleeveless top tucked in jeans because I like that. And I have one of my testers who made an absolutely stunning outfit. She has a loose shirt over her pants, and she just let the little collar pop on top as well of the shirt, and it just looks brilliant. So I'm definitely going to experiment and wear cropped tops over shirts, because I think that looks amazing, and I'm definitely going to try and do that. But yeah, in case crop tops aren't your thing, you can obviously make it a usual length sweater. I really wanted this to be a beginner friendly basic sweater, so if it's your first top or garment, this is really easy. And if you're a little bit more experienced but you want to play around and have a canvas for something else, well, this is really good. My testers, they had lots of fun modifying the sleeves, the length. Some of them did like little color insertions, like contrasted ribbing, which looks amazing. And yeah, it uses fingering weight, and it's at a relatively loose gauge, so it uses not a lot of yarn. And my size, which is size 2, size 1 and up until size 2, so size 1 and 2 can easily fit into one skein if you make it cropped like this, one skein of fingering weight yarn. And so that's like really nice. It's also easy to make it a stash burster even for different sizes, because like I said, you can use contrast colors, you can make a fade with leftovers, you can, whatever, color blocks. Color block would be really cool. I need to play with color block a little bit more. But yeah, lots of different options. I wanted this to be like a really effortless, cute, simple little top, and it is what it is. So, did I say everything? This is also the first of my garment patterns that come in 8 sizes. So well, it's not really expanded the size range. I just filled holes because my previous patterns tended to have bigger jumps between sizes, and so I filled 2 in particular that were really big. So now this comes in 8 sizes, and yeah, obviously easy to add shaping, bust darts, everything that you should need to fit your body type. And I think I said everything construction wise. Yeah, so it's just a really simple, basic, beginner friendly top for the summer that I really liked knitting. It was really quick and really fun, and it was really nice to test it, because I had a lot of testers and they all went different ways, different colors, different modifications, and it was just really fun to see the little tops pop, because they were so quick to make that a lot of people just went out of nowhere and just tell me, okay, I'm done, and they were sending me these pictures of their really cute finished tops, and it was just really fun. So you can see on Ravelry a ton of different versions, and I am really grateful for my testers for their help on this. Also, I do want to say a special thank you to the beginner knitters who were testing for this. I really like having beginner knitters as testers, because they are the ones who will spot when something is phrased in an odd way, or when sometimes, when you write a pattern, you assume certain knowledge and you're kind of in your bubble and thinking a certain way. And experienced knitters, they will know what to do, especially on a design that is so simple. They know what to do, and so they don't pay as much attention to how things are written out. And so beginners, on the other hand, they immediately see, because they have like questions, and they often contact me saying, I'm sorry if it's stupid. It's not stupid, that's the point of you testing. Because yes, often it's like a really basic thing that they don't understand or were having doubts about, but it's basic for me, and it shouldn't have to be unclear at all, even if it's basic. And so it really helps me making things clear, and so I'm really happy with the pattern, with how it is accessible now for beginners. So yes, it is called Nausicaa. So because that is the name of the colorway that I use. So I use, and you have seen this before because it was first supposed to be in my shifty pullover, but this is the sock blend from Cosmic Strings, which are dyers from Edinburgh, which you probably know because I keep talking about their yarns. And this is their Superwash Merino Nylon blend, simple sock. It's a really nice light fingering weight that still plumps up enough when blocked that it makes a nice fabric, even at a relatively loose gauge. This is 22.5 stitches to 10 centimeter. You could use sport weight, you could use DK, whatever yarn you want. But I use light fingering and it just works really well. And this colorway is stunning. As you can see, speckled, lots of different colors, but it still looks coherent. Like all of them go together. I really like it. It's not, I mean, it is quite vibrant, but it's not in your face, variegated tons of different colors that clash together. They all kind of go together. And the colorway name is Nausicaa. And as I was knitting on it and thinking of a name, I just couldn't think of anything else. I am a huge fan of the Odysseys. I think you say Odysseys in English. The Homer long epic poem. No one agrees on what you should call that. But yeah, in case you've never read the Odysseys or even the Battle of Troy, I don't know the English names, I'm sorry. I highly recommend that you do because they're obviously classics, but they're classics that are pleasant and accessible now, today. I've obviously read them first when I was very young, for the first time, and I mean, it just felt like some sort of Harry Potter, you know. It's just the same kind of really, really fun and accessible thing to go into. It's an adventure story. Obviously, it has a bunch of different implications, and when you go deep, and I did literature studies, and I had the opportunity to study the Odysseys quite deeply for my end of high school tests, and then again after as a higher education. It's obviously you can go really far and you can see all the implications of the writing and stuff and blah blah blah. But in itself, you know, it's mythology and it's just really really attractive thing to read. And yeah, if you are able to find an English translation that respects the fact that it's a poem or a song, it's even better. But yeah, just in case no one ever read the Odyssey, do. It's really fun. And Nausicaa is a character in the Odyssey. She's a princess that rescues and helps Ulysses. She's a really basic, nice princess, like really cute and everything. And well, I believe that is why Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind carries that name. And obviously I'm a huge Ghibli fan as well. Who isn't? Yeah, it's who isn't. But yeah, Nausicaa is a really nice name, and that is why I decided to use it for this top. And yeah, I think I've said everything. I'm sure I always think that I forget something, but I don't think I did. I have put up a little coupon code in case you would like to get the pattern at a discount. It is the code, well, Nausicaa. There's 2 A's at Nausicaa. And it will give you 20% off the pattern until Sunday. I think that I said Sunday. Yes, Sunday, the 23rd of June. Which is my... do you have in English, in the calendar, you have every day is attached to a name, you know? It's a saint, like you have Saint Robert, Saint Patrick, Saint Patrick. Yes, you do. What am I talking about? You have Saint Patrick, so you know what I'm talking about. 23rd of June is thanked Audrey, at least it is in France, so that's funny. So yeah, 20% off with the code Nausicaa until Sunday. And yeah, I think that's about it for this sweater. I hope you like it. Like I said, really beginner friendly, really simple to modify and adapt. If you want to shove lace, cables, do whatever you want with it, it will be nice. And it's a really quick project to knit too, for the summer. So yeah, I think that is it for Nausicaa, and I am going to jump into my works in progress. I have finished the Katie Shoe sweater. It is now currently being test knitted. I will show you again when it gets released in August, but yeah, this is done. So I have moved on to a new design, and it is again a collaboration with a French indie dyer, another one, which is Heidi Idea. That's a clever name, isn't it? And she is a French indie dyer that really specifies in offering like kind of luxurious blends and really nice vibrant colors, like solid deep saturated jewel tones. And she contacted me asking if I would be interested in designing with their baby camel and silk blends. So yes, she wanted me to design with her 50% baby camel, 50% silk fingering weight yarn, and yes, that is the loveliest blend ever. And I'm sorry because the cakes are a little bit but as you can see, so it's a fingering weight yarn. It's a rather standard fingering weight. It has 400 meter to 100 grams, and it's nice and plied, and it's just shiny, and it has good definition, lots of drape. Oh my god, I really like baby camel, and it's just so soft. This color, so we were considering what colors to use, and I saw this, and this is the colorway Pin, which is pine, like a pine tree, and it just struck me. But then she was kind enough to send me a bunch of different samples of all the colors, and all of them are so beautiful. Like there's a rust colorway that I really love, and she has as well like a sort of amaranth, reddish, pinkish kind of colorway that is also beautiful. So I was like looking at all the samples and like, okay, now I want all of them. But in the end I came back to this, and I really love that green. That is the perfect green, bluish green for me. I really love it. And I am designing a shawl, and it is not that direction. Look, it's a shawl with lots of nothing on it. I hope you like it. Anyway, that is the right side. It's a triangular shawl that is gonna be knitted from the tip down, so bottom up. I do like that construction. I think it's a little bit easier to design with if you want to put really nice motifs on the center panel of the triangle. And so I have made this cable and lace and twisted stitches panel. So you can see there's at the center there's this really nice big plumpy ribbed type of cable. Then there's some laddering twisted stitches and lace thing, some twisted stitches motifs, and one more row of lace. And this is the entire panel, and then it's all squishy garter stitch. So you start at the bottom basically with an I-cord cast on, you continue the I-cord edges on both sides, and you increase, and you keep increasing on every row at either end of the shawl. And I am alternating skeins, that's why I had the two attached, because I'm paranoid and because due to the shape of the shawl, if there's any sort of difference between the two, it's gonna be so visible. So you can imagine like a triangle shawl with like a big line in between. That's not nice. So I'm alternating just before the I-cord on the wrong side, and it works quite smoothly, and I really like the yarn. It has a pretty good definition for such a yarn. I really like it. It's not blocked, and I think it's gonna get even better when blocked. And the thing with designing a shawl with cables is that I always find it tricky to get the right balance between having the plumpness and the definition of the cable, which tends to require it to be tight and snug, and having the drape and the looser type of gauge of a shawl. And I think this yarn makes it really good for that, because it does look really nice. And so as you can see, the central panel is going to be... I know some people don't like triangle shawl because it makes them think of bibs. Is that how it's called? A bib, the thing you give to a baby so that it doesn't... That was really elegant. You know what I mean. But I don't mind. I don't see it, and it doesn't bother me. But yeah, I love it so much. It's gonna be really nice. At some point I will start doing short rows on the sides so that it gets longer. So basically whenever I feel like it's deep enough, which not quite yet because I want it to be quite big, I will stop it depth is the term, depth wise, and short row around the sides so that it will make sort of a curved triangle at the top. My arms look so big. Sort of a curved triangle at the top, which is nice. And yeah, I really enjoy working on it. I was really happy to start designing it when I finished the K2 sweater, and I just went into because I had already made the chart when I submitted the idea to Heidi. I already made the chart, but it was like a few months ago. And so I was like, I caked my yarns, all ready to go, all happy. I'm like, yeah, the chart is already made. I just have to knit it, it's fine. And then I remembered what kind of chart I made, which is like typically the type of thing where if it was an older pattern in the magazine, you know, you would have 5 different charts and be like, do this all at the same time and then increase on the sides as well. So it is not complicated to follow. It was just a bit awkward for me to figure out a way to make the instructions smooth so that you don't have to follow anything at the same time. So I kind of had to tweak around with the repeats and the charting and see how things would go and how things could work, because obviously all the different sections have different row repeats numbers, and so I had to figure out how to place them so that it would work smoothly. And so in the end I managed to do it quite well. I'm quite happy with what I did. Basically, charted instruction will have one chart for the beginning portion where you increase within the motif, and then a smaller chart which incorporates all the motifs for the rest of the shawl. So that is really nice because you will only have to follow one chart at a time, and this makes it so much better. And as soon as I managed to figure that out and to write out instructions that are good, it was really nice, and it's just really nice to knit on. I can watch a TV show or YouTube while doing it, and it's just fine, no problem. But yeah, it's always interesting to try something a little bit different and realize that you kind of have to figure out how the instructions work and how readable they are, because obviously I'm designing it so I knew what I was supposed to do. I knew how things worked and what it means when I say increase, keep the I cord, and then do the cables and lace in between. I know what I am supposed to do. I know how it's working. But when you are knitting a design, when you will be knitting the design, you don't know how it's working yet. So I had to figure out the way so that the instructions would make perfect sense and leave you no work besides following them to the point. And I will make row by row instructions as well for that, just because I know some people prefer written instructions. And again, they will, I figured the way to make them right, so that I don't have to write row by row instructions for the entire row. But yeah, it's working really nicely. I really like it. It's quite a mindless thing now. I just need to go and go and go. And the cables and the motifs themselves, they're easy to read and repetitive. And so at some point I will have them memorized, and I think from then it's going to go even quicker. But yeah, I just think it's going to be like a really elegant shawl because it's just really smooth, and I think it's gonna be quite a mature type of accessory. Yeah, I don't know if you understand what I mean, but I think it looks really elegant. But yeah, this has a name. It's going to be Arol, which is one of the names for a pine tree that grows in the Alps, in the French Alps. Well, I assume in the Swiss and Italian Alps as well. It's not like the trees stop at the border. But yeah, I'm really happy with how this is going. This is planned for September. And yeah, so get your classy figuring weight skeins ready. So I have one last work in progress that I want to share with you, and it's one of the designs from the latest Pompom issue. This is the first Pompom issue that I buy. I usually really like what Pompom is doing, especially the last couple of issues, the Moon issue and the Botanical issues. I found them really beautiful. I like the designs, but every time there's like only maybe one pattern that I know I will actually make. And even though Pompom is priced pretty affordably in the spectrum of knitting magazines, but it's it's a space issue. I'd rather not clutter my space with more stuff than I already have. So it's actually the first time that I buy Pompom, and oh my god, because when I saw the patterns in it, oh my god. First of all, models, pictures, everything really pretty. The content is amazing. There's an article by Little Coto's Closet on, I forgot her actual name, but she's Little Coto's Closet on Instagram on cultural appropriation, which I find really interesting and really, like, it gives the right questions, and it really makes you reconsider things and question yourself and question how you approach other cultures as a part of your own dominant culture, and that is really interesting. And yeah, the content is really, really, really nice, and I am really happy to discover that, because I bought it first because of the pattern and because of how amazing the patterns are. I love all of them. I would make all of them. Like the only one, still, I was going to say that I'm not so sure about this one, but it's because of the colors, because I think, yeah, if you do that in like darker tones, like more moody things, I think I would totally make that. And this is nice, but like Okay, so I love all of them. Okay, I'm gonna show you three. Is three okay? Yeah, I'm gonna show you three. Because I love all of them, I can't decide which one to show and which one to not show. I love all of them. Let me show you all because I love it. I love this. I love knotted tops. I wear a lot of knotted t-shirts in the summer and blouses and things. I really, really like this. I have myself plans to design stuff like this, like not like this, but as well incorporating knots because I really like knots. This is so beautiful. I really like the cardigan as well. This cardigan with this motif. I think this is so nice and comfy. I really, really like this top. You know, I was saying color block is interesting me. I really like this. This is nice. I need to check what are the yarns used and actually how many colors are used, because it looks like it's 3. I might get it wrong. Let me just tell you. Emioto is the name of Little Koto's closet. And I really like, where is it? This one, which is knit in BC Garn, and I actually don't know if it's the Bio Shetland or the Bio Balance. Yeah, it's knit in Bio Balance by BC Garn, and I am really happy to see this yarn used in a knitting magazine because it's like a really affordable commercial yarn. It's a mix of cotton and wool. I've showed it to you recently, I believe, and I really like that knitting magazines are using really affordable commercial yarns as well from time to time. And then I really like the shawl as well. I'm literally showing you every design in the magazine because, as you understood, I love them. I love all of them. And the one that made me buy the magazine and that I started knitting right away is the design by Sari Nordlund, which is the Ogee tee. And it's this, let me actually show you the big picture. It's this tank top with this amazing twisted stitches and lace panel. This is so gorgeous. I often really like Sari's design, but when I saw this, it's just so perfect. It's just so her style and so beautiful. I really was struck by it and I absolutely adore it, and I wanted to make it right away, and that is what I am doing. I was looking for the perfect yarn to do it with. It took me quite a few research, and in the end I remembered that I thought it was the right opportunity to try a yarn that I've seen and touched and everything. It's a yarn from Maison Corlaine, which, if you remember, it's they're indie dyers from France that I have collaborated with and I probably will again, and whose yarn I really like. And they've recently released a whole bunch of different bases, and one of them is BFL and bamboo blend. It's their arts and crafts range, which is like a plant base themed range, and so it's 80% BFL, superwash BFL, and 20% bamboo. And I really like bamboo. Bamboo has lovely drape and bamboo is shiny. Bamboo is beautifully shiny and nice, and it's not heavy like cotton. I really like it. And I'm not someone who easily runs cold, so I can definitely stand a top with a big percentage of wool, and especially if it's superwash wool and if it's fingering weight, because all of this is less cold. So I thought, okay, it looks good. I knew this would have a great definition. I knew this would drape. I knew this would be light enough for me. And I knew it would come in gorgeous colors. So this sort of grey blue, really nice color is Hortense. All of their colorways have names, first names, and I really like that blue. I really like it. And I have started. putting on it, and I am loving it. It is much easier than what it looks, really. It's the thing is, it's only 1x1 twisted cables, only 1x1. You don't have to move a ton of stitches, and then rather simple lace. The construction is pretty straightforward, as I have read ahead, and I think it's gonna be fine. And the chart is really easy to read from. The layout of the pattern, so like I said, it's my first time getting Pompom. The layout of the patterns and the charts I really like. Everything is really clear and smooth and big enough for you to see, and I really like it. And so it's much simpler than what it looks. Then again, it is all over twisted ribbing shenanigans, so it is quite slow, but I have started and I have all of this already. You can see I've started little motifs. Yay. So I am knitting size 2, and the thing is, I am in between, so I don't know actually. My sizes have changed a lot, especially my bust size, which is a really variable thing for me, and I seem to have lost a lot of measurements. But still, like, the second size is 86 centimeter bust circumference, and I do want to have a little bit of ease. I don't want it to be close fitting at all, but I don't want it to be too big, because the problem with tops, if they're too big, is that they're too loose and you show breasts that you don't necessarily want to show. And yeah, the thing is, the size 2 is 86 and the size 3 is 96. 96 is way too big for me. Way too big. I would have over 10 centimeter ease now with my current silly weird measurements. 86 is probably the exact size that I am maybe half of the month, and the other half of the month I am 4 centimeters less than that. So maybe I can only wear this top half of the month. Maybe I should make 2. I should make one big and one small, depending on what time of the month it is. Anyway, problems. But what I try to do is to mess up the gauge. Because my yarn is thicker. Like, the design sample uses a really thin fingering weight that has, I think it's yarn by Yoth. And my yarn is more of a proper fingering weight. And I don't have the right gauge. The gauge recommended is 28 stitches per 10 centimeter. I have 26 and a half. And so I'm making the size 2, hoping that I will get a little bit bigger, like in between. Not really in the middle of size 2 and 3, but like a little bit over size 2. And yeah, that is what I'm doing. I'm gonna knit a little bit, and then I'm gonna put it on a bigger cable or scrap yarn and just shove it over my head and see how it is around my hips, even though that's quite tricky because the bust really is the point where it's gonna cause issue ease-wise. But yeah, it looks like it's gonna be like, this is an 80 centimeter needle. Looks okay, and when it's gonna be blocked, and it's gonna be drapey, so I'm quite confident that it's going to work, but we'll see. But yeah, like I said, I really enjoyed. I was really surprised to see that it was only, like I said, 1x1 twisted stitches, because that's better, that's nice. It's really engaging. It is slow. I spent the whole weekend doing this. But it's really fun, and I can't wait to see the drawing of the motif work up. So yeah, it's a reversible top as well. You have one side that is a V and one side that is a scoop. And so if I can't wear it with the V on the front, well, it's fine. I wouldn't mind doing it the other way around. But yes, I am really liking it, and I don't think it's gonna take me that long. I decided it's gonna be my weekend knit. I'm gonna be knitting on it in the weekends, and yeah, I really like it. I really like the yarn. It's nice and soft, and it has the best definition ever, and yeah, really nice. I think that is all I wanted to say about it. But yeah, I really love the magazine. I already got yarn, ordered yarn to knit this one. It was my birthday present from me to me. I ordered yarn to knit it, and I will show you once I receive it. But guess what? I picked completely different colors. That is not ironic. I really did. And yeah, I think that is all I had to say about everything. Yes. Thank you so much for watching this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I will see you when I am back from Romania, and in the middle of the summer probably. And yeah, have a nice rest of the day, a nice rest of the week and everything. And I hope you enjoy the new season that's coming ahead. Yeah, I will see you next time. Bye!